Hey, it's Vincent here from Vincent Games. Welcome to another Rivals of Ixalan draft. Looking at this pack, some interesting cards here. Ixalan, Primal Storm. That looks pretty good. Probably going to pick this card. You get the card stuff for free, maybe. But I do like the Everdawn Champion as well. Some other good cards in red. You've got an Amulet, Might Wheel. Because there's some other good picks above this as well. Merfolk's okay. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty obvious, like, massive 6/6. Doesn't have evasion, but getting free cards off of it is very nice. So we're going to go for the big dumb dinosaur. Be happy with that pick. Okay, and then Majestic Heliopterus is a pretty good standout card. That's how we give Ixalan some evasion right there. I really like this card. And I don't think there's anything even remotely close to it. Oh, maybe an Impale, to be fair. I don't know if I want to go red-black if I'm not Pirates, though. Impale is tempting, but I think the Heliopterus is good enough to take over Impale. And also, it's slightly less of a colour commitment, being a single white rather than double white. Or double black, sorry, for the other card. Okay, so, blimey, really good white cards here. So we've got the Pterodon, which is okay. Another Raptor, sort of, you know, filler. But Divine Verdict. Or this guy. This guy on his own, like, our first two picks aren't really leading into vampires, so if we picked some vampire-centric sort of cards, then I can imagine taking the Famished Paladin and being quite happy with it, but obviously ignoring the rare. But yeah, I think Divine Verdict's a pretty good keep. Squire's Devotion's nice as well. I'm going to take the removal though, because removal feels better than that enchantment, and we got another one anyway, so that's good. Although I do like Stamping Horncrest, so that's tough. I've been really impressed with the Horncrest so far. Thrashing Brontodon we could have taken earlier on over the Heliopterus, but I felt that was better. And again, not playing double card. Some good green stuff coming around, to be fair. Overgrown Armasaur, quite reasonable. But we take... Oh no! I meant to click the dinosaur. That was really dumb. Does this do anything? Path of Metal. It wasn't Doji creatures. How strange. I don't think there's anything else other than that dinosaur here that we want. No, we'll take Part of the Metal, but we're probably not playing it. I was really annoying that not taking that dinosaur. I should have taken the dinosaur over that. I mean, Squire's Devotion isn't too bad, but I should have. I wanted to take the other thing over that. I quickly just click the wrong card. Shake the Foundations. That's okay, but we don't really have any Enrage going on, so I think I'd rather have the Mutiny. Mutiny is fairly decent removal. It's mana efficient, which is the biggest thing going for it. If each land you control create more treasure, that seems bad. So do we want another Mutiny or a Fanatical Firebrand? I'm tempted to go with Mutiny because we don't... the Pinger is okay as well, actually. No, it sacrifices itself. So, I mean, that... Yeah, I'm going to take the Mutiny. They both do a very similar thing, but Mutiny has the likelihood of killing bigger things. Cards and graveyards can't be targeted spells or ability. That's not something we want. We'll take an Imperial Ceratops, as that's kind of what we're doing. We're not changing colours at this point. Field Death Spitter and the Raptor Companion are both quite reasonable cards. However, they're both commons. I do like 2-drops, but that is not a particularly impressive one. I'm tempted to actually take the Mana Fixing over these two. This may be something we live to regret, but no, it's okay. So we've got the Raptor Companion. Brazen Freebooters kind of meh. We've got a couple of 4-drops already, and whilst it is nice, it does sort of help us get to Ixalan. I think we can't just keep turning away 2-drops. We'll take the Sun-Collared Raptor, I think. Oh wow, we got lucky. It wheeled. Okay, so this feels like a very strong signal that red is definitely open. I can't believe that wheeled. Got away with that. And we'll take a nice little sideboard card in the form of Shatter. And Snubhorn Sentry is also nice for the sideboard. Not something I want to main deck, but against an aggressive enough opponent, it's a nice little wall. So, not a terrible first pack, really. I don't really know what's going on with Path of Metal if we're going to be playing it. 2-drops are lacking in terms of power, but we'll just have to see. And we have Time Stream Navigator. Put Time Stream Navigator on the bottom of its owner's library, taking extra turn. And it needs a send. I don't think we're anywhere near that. Cherished Hatchling. The Regisaur is really nice, but I don't like just sort of going into. I mean, it's really good, but we're quite heavily red-white. I don't really want to splash for it. We do have the Amulet. But other options are Sea Red, Divine Verdict. I don't want to take any of those 2 cards over something like Exultant Sky Marcher or Martyr of Dusk. I think Sky Marcher is that much better than the Martyr of Dusk, even though I like 2-drops that we're going to be taking that. And because we've already got 1 Stamping Horncrest, again, I'm happy to take the Sky Marcher over that. The 2/3 flyer is really decent. Okay. Azor the Lawbringer. Enter the opponent. Can't sorceries. Whenever it attacks, you may pay that. Oh, it's quite tempting, but it's double blue, and I don't. So you got 2 pieces of mana fixing that might come back round our way. That could help to cast this, but I feel like we would really be stretching the mana on double blue for a 6/6 flyer. I really want to take it, but that's too much, isn't it? And we've already got a 6-mana bomb in the form of Vitali. I think I'm going to take the second Sky Marcher. I really want to take the Trailblazer, but the 2/3 flyers are so good. You can tell me I'm too chicken to take that blue-white bomb, but I'm not feeling lucky enough. Plus 3/0 and have Trample. Well, that could go well with our flyers, actually. But I actually like Moment of Triumph as a good trick. I'm going to hedge that the Raptor Companion will come back round. I don't think we have enough life gain to really play the Paladin, so that's why I'm taking the Moment of Triumph here. We've already got 2 Mutinies, so I'm just going to kind of go for the Moment of Triumph to spread out our variety of combat tricks. Buccaneer's Bravado is good. Or Sea Red. +2/+1 on first strike is nice. That on almost anything is going to be really good. Another Stampeding Horncrest is tempting. I'm kind of feeling there might, one wheeled already in the first pack. Hoping another one will. Now, and I like Bravado as well. +1/+1 on first strike. I don't want too many enchantments. No, I'm going to take the Horncrest. I think the Horncrest is good enough. That's fine. I don't want too many little tricks that don't necessarily. And there's another one, another Bravado here. I'm really not sure how I'd rate something like Buccaneer's Bravado over Sea Red. I feel like the Buccaneer's Bravado is slightly better. I mean, Sea Red's really good. It's the same sort of thing as like having the one with the wind. It just makes the creatures dumb. I'm going to take this Firebrand though, I think. Just because I want more creatures. Another Path of Metal. I just don't think we're playing any of them. What does it even do again? So you tap with. I don't think we've got enough of these keywords. And once you do transform it, it's okay. And it kills a lot of our own creatures. The Raptor and the Firebrand. I don't think that's worth it. We're going to take this random 4-drop. Okay, this is interesting. Looks like Bombard, but is this good enough? 5 mana. If Tuskodon would deal combat damage to a player, it deals double damage to that player instead. Well, that's interesting. I really want a Bombard though. As much as I really like that, I think we're going to take the Bombard because we've got a Divine Verdict, 2 Mutinies. Yeah, Bombard I feel is just so good. 3 mana instant speed. We could have easily taken a Raptor Companion there. I've passed a lot of Raptor Companions. I might be being a bit greedy with some of our. Obviously, we need 2-drops, but Strider Harness I don't think really is that great on our deck. But I don't want another Snubhorn Sentry. How many 5 mana 4/4s is too many? Probably the amount we've got is enough. I think we should take this. Yeah, we would have wheeled the red-blue land if we'd got that thing. And I saw earlier we had another Evolving Wilds we could have taken. Evolving Wilds we could have taken. So we could have had a Traveller's Amulet, an Evolving Wilds, and a Highland Lake. We could have really squeezed that in. Oh, that's funny. Obviously, there's nothing really here for us. Yeah, Orzoka Relic may be a card we play. Don't want a Death Touch Dino guy running around with all the dinosaurs. There's a lot of rubbish black cards there. So we could have had a couple more 5/5s, 4/4s for 5, but took a couple of other options there instead. I really don't think we're playing this card. So Legion Judgment is not good enough. We're probably taking the Sunwing here because that's really nice. Really good tempo card for a deck like Red-White as well, which wants to be attacking. So like it can be really awkward. You play a Sunwing, or you've got a Sunwing in play, and then you're following up with a Stampeding Horncrest. Yeah, it kind of gets around their chump blockers. These 2 cards are nice. Stormfleet, Pyromancer, Shore Strike, but another 2/3 Flower is nice. Doubt we're taking a Bright Reprisal here. Nest Robber or Raptor Companion, I mean, they're both fairly mediocre, but the Nest Robber's haste is a little bit different. I quite like that. Is that better than a Raptor Companion? Actually, no, it probably just isn't. We'll take the Raptor, just because it can trade up better than the Nest Robber can. Ooh, oh, wow. Ugh, it's so frustrating when you get packs like this, because you think, okay, I want to get some 2-drops here, but we've got 4 2-drops that we obviously want to be taking. And they're all in the same pack. Raptor Hatchling is good, but we haven't really pushed the Enrage. So because of that, I'm not that interested in it. Sky Terror is great, almost impossible to block. Given the lack of 2-drops, we're taking a 2-drop. As much as I want a Pierce Interdiction, already these 2 cards. We're going to wheel something in this pack. We've got enough removal that I think we can get away with not taking that. Tiliona's Knight is quite reasonable. You might wheel a Sky Terror. No, I think Sky Terror is good enough to just take. I'm fairly confident we'll wheel one of those other cards. Hopefully it'll be a 2-drop that we wheel. And awesome, Pierce Interdiction we will take. 1/1 Flyer is actually quite tempting. That pumps 2 of our other flyers, but I don't think that's as good as this card. I'll happily play that guy over the Raptor. Vampire Zeal's quite nice. Oh, another 5 mana 4/4. I'll probably just take the Glorifier of Dusk. Air Elemental, still Air Elemental. What? I could have just drafted almost the entire deck. Like we could have had another 1 or 2 Stampeding Horncrests, the other 5/5, the other 4/4 for 5, and then another Glorifier of Dusk. Do we really want 2? I'm glad we didn't prioritise it much in Rage and stuff like Royal and the other bits and pieces that did in Rage, because you haven't really got an awful lot in Rage at all. But do we want another 4/4 thing, or the Pterodon Knight? Just because of mana. That was probably just a straight up mistake. We have enough dinosaurs that this card isn't terrible. Now we're getting to the dregs. I would rather someone didn't have a River Herald's Boon. perfectly reasonable sideboard option. Okay, and we've got a Telonia's Knight, which is good. Wouldn't mind a Thrasher Raptors, but we've already got a glut of 4-drops. So yeah, we got 2 picks out of that. And I'm happy we got these 2. These 2 are quite good. I can't remember what the other 2... Oh, Firebrand would have been nice, but we got so many dinosaurs that it felt silly not to take advantage of the synergies there. Potential sideboard card if we want to splash for it. If there is one of those silly lands we just absolutely can't deal with. Guts telling me we're not playing this anymore. Oh, wow. Vampire Zeal this late. Thanks. And probably not Path of Metal. Probably not Imperial Ceratops. Probably not you. So let's see what we have. So 26. That was a really weird draft actually. That was a lot of conflicting decision, a lot of tricky decisions there, with a lot of picks. So Path of Metal, we didn't really go down the Enrage plan at all, which is fine. Doesn't always kind of come together. I quite like all of these except the Sun-Collared Raptor, which is pretty mediocre. Paladin of the Bloodstained's quite out of place. We've got a lot of non-creature cards as well, so probably going to keep. This isn't really a card. This is like land 17. I'll probably play 16 lands and the Traveller's Amulet because we've got a 6-drop that we want to be hitting. Normally only really like 16. We could probably get away with 16 actually. The Kinjali's Caller helps. This being the 16th. But anyway, let's put that there for the moment. So I need to make 1 cut. I don't think we want the Sentry. We don't want Looming Elmasaur main deck. We've got plenty of 5-drops. This is the weakest. The Firebrand, again, is sideboard for it if we really need a pinger. This guy's fairly so-so compared to something like this awesome dinosaur. The Paladin. Actually, the Paladin might be something we cut. We don't really have a lot of ways to really kind of get the most out of that one dude. It is a good card, though, either way. Could maybe shave a Raptor's Companion rather than having 2 of those, because they're not actually that great. It feels like either Raptor Companion, just because it's not that exciting, or a Paladin of the Bloodstained, because it doesn't really fit in with the rest of the deck. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to play on turn 2 without the Companion. So I think we can maybe cut 1. We've got enough 2-drops there to hopefully have, a play most of the time. I don't want to cut anything else for something like the Orzoka Raptor. This feels pretty reasonable. So lands. So 16 white, 11 red. So 8, 6 is 14. Traveller's Amulet 15, so then 1 more white, 9, 6. Yeah. Add that in. A couple of enchantments. Only 15 creatures though, so maybe we want to cut something just for the additional creature. Maybe we will have the Raptor Companion, number 2. Cut a Mutiny, just to have more creatures. Otherwise we've got quite a lot of non-creature spells. And I think we want to be putting pressure on more than not. And I like both Moment of Truth and Vampire's Zeal, so only 2 tricks. If we do this, we have Mutiny, Bombard, Piercing Prediction, and Divine Verdict. There's 4 pieces of removal. But then Moment of Triumph and Vampire's Zeal also act as removal too, so that's not so bad. So actually we'll do that, and if we feel like we need the removal, we can always bring it in. Because Raptor Companion, there are plenty of decks where Raptor Companion doesn't line up very well against certain things like tokens, Vampire tokens. So against those kind of decks, happy to reduce a creature, bring in something like the second Mutiny just to argue tokens better, but at least for game one's, happier to have a higher creature count, I think. So yeah, this feels pretty good. So yeah, that was a weird draft. Lots of tricky decisions there. I saw a lot of Raptor Companions, but not that many opportunities where taking a 2-drop that wasn't Raptor Companion was, I think, better than taking the other cards that we did. And it's not too bad. We managed to get 2 2-drops in the final pack between Telonia's Knight and Sky Terror, which was good. It was just a shame that they were just all bunched in that one bit. If they were spread out through the other packs, we might have been able to get a third to play over the second Raptor Companion. But it's not the end of the world. Raptor Companion does actually help with Tilonali's Knight and the Horncrests as well. And it's also cheap. We can get, if we set up a turn with Kinjali's Caller, we can play multiple threats potentially, which is good. But that's enough chit chat. Let's dive into round 1. Welcome to round 1. This hand seems quite reasonable. We have something to play on turn 3, not on turn 2, but we've got some good late game action, assuming we draw into it. We are going second as well, so hopefully we'll get to the land we need to actually do something. I'm going to keep this. We've got both colours, so I think we'll be alright. Our opponent's mulligan to 6 as well, and they've got a card at the bottom. So away we go. Another 2 draw steps to get the land we need, or a 2-drop. Okay. Would still like that land. Ooh. Is this going to be one of those games? Yep, it's going to be one of those games. Okay, come on, land. We're going to be discarding, so rather than discard, I am just going to at least get some value out of our moment of triumph. Come on, land. Oh dear. I don't really want to discard any of these cards. Let's go with the Horncrest, I think. Mutiny is probably going to be quite awkward with a 1/4 as their first creature. I don't know if we'll actually even be able to kill anything with it. And there is exactly why. Okay, so it's a dinosaur. It's a creature we can play. Just have to plod along. So our opponent is really starting to draw out of their land predicament now. It'd be nice if we could start to do the same. Pirate's Prize is really useful for them. No really good attacks for anyone just yet. We play any one of these 2 cards, they're likely to want to... It's likely to die very quickly. So I think I'd rather have the Sunwing around than the Sky Marcher. I don't want to cast Mutiny just yet. They're always going to have mana open to counter it anyway. And the only thing we can kill with it is the Storm Tamer. So we'd still have the same end result, but I'd rather just cast a creature at this point. We need to add to the board. Just play more creatures. Vanquish the weak or something like that. No, just play a better flyer. Okay, mountain. So, it'd be quite nice to be able to cast Mutiny and get rid of their 3/3. And they'll probably get rid of the Siren Storm Tamer. It'd be nice to get rid of this Tamer now and then play the Sunwing. Mutiny. Spirewinder. Kill the Storm Tamer. And then it's gone. Stupid thing. And then we can play the Sunwing. And we're still adding to the board, which is nice. It's not the best use of a Mutiny there, but the Storm Tamer is just going to be a pain. If we start drawing our other removal, then we want to be making sure our removal sticks. And I'm not going to double block here because that's just asking for trouble. More than likely they've got some sort of trick or even just a bounce spell, and then we lose one or both of our creatures. I mean, we definitely lose one of them anyway, and I don't really see the point of running into something like that. I imagine they'll have a flying blocker now. No? Okay, that guy's really annoying. Probably the Sunwing's coming back. Yeah. That Recaller is really good. We can play a 4-mana spell, or we can play Sea Red, or we can play Kinjali's Sunwing again. I'm tempted to go for that actually. It's not the most mana efficient, but we'll see. Start really racing now at this point as well. If we draw another land, then we can play Glorifier of Dusk, Horncrest. Start really getting him. Wouldn't surprise me if the Sky Marcher dies now. No, it's just going to come in with the team. So we'll block this guy and we'll trade. Do we want to trade? How much damage is this? 3, 6, 9. 9 damage. We'll go to 10. I don't think I want to trade the Raptor just yet. We'll just do that. We got 7 damage on the crackback here. Assuming they don't have some sort of blocker. No. No blocker. Okay, mountain. So we can play the Horncrest. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage exactly. But I imagine they'll have something. Seems unlikely to have nothing. We wouldn't need to stop all of it, just some of this. And then play a Glorifier of Dusk, which is a very good blocker. I think what we're going to do is attack for 7. Oh, Divine Verdict, fair enough. So we've kind of got rid of that there now, so it makes you feel a bit better about then playing something like this. Hopefully it's not as easy to answer for them. Might have been better to not go in with the Raptor Companion. Make them attacking us, assuming they don't have an answer for the Glorifier of Dusk. Make it a really poor prospect, because then they'll be losing 2 creatures potentially to trades. Well, also, which wouldn't surprise me if they've got a way of dealing with our stuff now. Okay, that's not so bad. Pass turn. That is great news. Okay, so we have 5 mana. So I don't think. Problem is now we could attack with the Glorifier of Dusk, but we'll go to 8, which doesn't feel particularly good. Although, given the Glorifier of Dusk flying, he's got 2. Yeah, actually, don't think that's that exciting, to be fair. So we're going to go with Raptor Companion and the Sunwing, just to get two good blockers down. Bit of a stalemate here now, which is good. I want them to be racing ahead. Probably should get this majestic Heliopterus down at some point so that we can start giving the 6/6 flying when it does appear. Fair enough. Oh, no, here we go. I'm going to get rid of the, I'm going to block the Soul of, what's it called? Soul of the Rapids, because I can't deal with that any other way than through combat. I feel like this is Glorified Dusk isn't going to be able to block. No. Or he's got something. It's just really forcing through damage. That's fair enough. I mean, it's costing us a lot of life to be able to do this. Terraton Knight. Gonna get this Heliopterus down, because if we can get in a position where we have enough flyers, then we might be able to sneak through 9 damage. Because at the moment, Glorifier of Dusk, Raptor Companion, and one of the a Heliopterus is 9. So if they don't have a blocker or a way of removing our stuff, then oh, 7/7's awkward. Discard 3 cards. Okay. And you can blink it. Okay, well, we'll be divine verdicting that. Actually, I think we're going to play this, because I don't think there are that many good attacks for any of us. So if we swing in with, that's 4, 8. So that's 3 things that can't be blocked. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they've got plenty of blockers on the ground. So we're not really able to get in. No, don't bounce us stuff. Fair enough. If it goes in with a Primal Tide or whatever it is, then we'll just double block. Simple as that. We need to kill something that big. Okay, attack with everything. So the awkward thing about this is, and I hadn't thought about this, so this is my own fault, is we have to pay 2 life. So we're at 3 effectively if we want to block that flyer, which is better than taking the 3 damage from it. And then if we're at 3, it means if we double block here, we then have to chump this and then trade here. And then we'll go to 2. I think they're our best blocks. Yeah, give this guy flying. I don't want them to be able to bounce that or do anything with that. This guy is going to have to block here. Let's just hope we don't get wrecked by something horrible. Oh. Okay, so we can now play Pterodon Knight. So we're at 2. I think we want to play creatures. So they got removal. When we play one creature, then we're in bad shape. Good, good, good. Play that. Play a Primal Storm. So I'm going to take a risk and attack with the Pterodon Knight because they would need 2 pieces of removal to kill us now. Or a piece of removal and a pump spell. Wow, they just gave up. I don't know if I would have given up if I was them. I mean, we can't make the Glorifier of Dusk flyer, and so they're going to basically just block both things. Maybe they didn't want us to see what they had in their hand. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Just keep adding to the board, chump the Etali until they can draw out of it. I'm not convinced their attack with everything was that great. I think they probably either just cracked a little bit too early or they were hoping I'd make a mistake. My guess is that they were just hoping I didn't have anything else in my hand to kind of follow up with once they thinned down the board. But as for sideboarding here, I feel like the Raptor Companions are a bit weak. As I mentioned too in the building, they don't pair up very well against a 3/4 flyer or Sailor of Means, which is essentially a brick wall against this. I think we're going to keep all the removal in, so we are going to take a Raptor's Companion out. And they had a lot of decent cards that we want to basically kill, so I think we will just put the second Mutiny in. We're on the draw, so they don't need to be as aggressive out the gate. Having the extra answer to some threats might be very useful. Okay, this hand is interesting because it doesn't actually do anything. If we had 2 plains instead of 2 mountains, I would be tempted to keep because you've got the Sky Marcher and things to kind of back it up with. However, 1 piece of removal and this hand falls apart. Plus the fact we need to draw the second plains anyway. So I am going to mulligan this. I don't want to go any further, so even though this isn't a particularly exciting hand, in fact it's pretty bad, I am going to keep. I tend to go towards, especially after mulliganing, if this was constructed, I'd probably just mulligan this again, but I don't, oh, hello, put that on top, but I don't really want to, especially in limited games, I don't want to go down to 5 really ever, so the fact that we've got both colours that we need is quite nice, even if we are a bit flooded already. And I'd rather keep the hands where you've got a little bit too many lands than the hands where you don't have enough. Because as you saw in that last game, that can be a big problem. In fact, the only reason I think we even survived beyond turn 5 or 6, let alone actually won the game, is because our opponent had mana problems too for a while, which kind of kept things going a lot longer than they might have otherwise gone. Yes, lose 2 life. I don't really want to block. Just keep bringing on the pain. We'll take a hit, so we can play the Paladin on 4 and have a decent blocker. Could have kept back a Vampire Zeal, but I don't know. Not that interested about using it right now. Good little card. Make it so you haven't really got some exciting attacks. Probably won't block the Stormfleet Spy, it's just a 2-2, it's already replaced itself. I will probably block the Phantom Fleet border, whatchamacallit, if it does come in. Aggressive. So was that 5 damage? Maybe I won't. That's annoying. Okay, so we've got 2 decent tricks if they come in now. So we'll attack with the Sky Terror. Just make it look like we can't get through. And then we have a good opportunity here to actually use Vampire Zeal and Moment of Triumph. Okay. So Paladin is going to stand in the way of the guy here. And we will use Vampire Zeal on him to first strike that to death. And this will stand in the way of this one. And we'll use Moment of Triumph to kill that. And we'll still have hopefully both of our blockers by the end of it. Wouldn't surprise me if we lost one or both here. Pump that to keep it alive and kill his thing, or pump our Vampire and actually I'd rather just keep the Paladin alive. So traded a Moment of Triumph for a Vanquish the Weak and a Vampire Zeal for his thing there. So probably wasn't very good to block with the 1/1 Vampire, but it saved us some damage and yeah, saved us some damage. I guess that's the way to look at it. And that little tempo advantage means we're now going to be swinging in for 7, 8, 9 damage, and they're only going to be threatening 5 back to us. So play this Horncrest. It's just nice that we managed to keep our 3-power creature alive rather than the 1/1 Vampire. Probably was a little bit arrogant of me to block with the 1/1 and be able to fire off both tricks to get them both, but there we are. I don't think they can really attack now. The Sky Terror is pretty much going to be, you know, getting in. So then they absolutely have to have blockers for the other two creatures as well. I mean, they're dead in 2 turns if they can't answer this Sky Terror. So if we attack with a Sky Terror, we don't have to worry about flash. No, there are a couple of flash creatures. I don't know if there are that many flash flyers. No, that's fine because he's got Menace. This might be a little bit aggressive, but I'm going to go for it. Okay, fantastic. No, the Sky Terror dying. It's bouncing. Okay. That's really good. So we just replay that. And pass the turn. So they're still in a very similar position. They need something. Okay, this makes me feel very confident. Shutting off 4 mana to dig is pretty big on this empty board state for them. If they have Settle the Wreckage, I'll be very upset. No! Okay. Okay. I would have been so angry if they had Settle the Wreckage. Sitting there thinking, I'm not going to play around a rare. I mean, that feels a little bit unreasonable. I mean, it made sense that they had something making the play that they did. They needed to have something, otherwise they were just straight dead. And again, they need to have something for this. But I wasn't going to play around a rare. Okay, let's try this again. Do you have an answer to the Sky Terror? Kept him at bay for 3 turns. Come on. No! Another Divine Verdict. Okay then. Play our little raptor friend. Don't even need to pump him. It's nice having the Pierce Interdiction as well. So if they tap out for that big 7/7, then we got this. The other thing as well is, this little guy having trample means that if they do play a blocker, we might just be able to get through it. Nope. It's all good. When does he return? Beginning of the next end step. So we're all good. Pretty worried for a moment, but having the Pierce Interdiction meant that they just, unfortunately for them, are not going to be able to stabilise. Goes in for lethal. Welcome to round 2. We'll be going first. And this is a keepable hand because we can get the second mountain if we don't just draw it to play the Sky Terror or Raptor on turn 2 and get the land later. So we're going to keep this and hopefully have plenty of time to get the second mountain for Dali. Nice to be able to play an amulet on turn 1 and really actually get use of that mana on first turn. Makes it a lot easier to actually crack later in the game if you can just spend 1 mana. Oh, getting his beat on. Okay, so this actually incentivizes us not to just jam the Raptor Companion. Take a point of damage but I'm happy to just do this now and get the Sky Terror down. So we play the companion, then, or it's very likely our opponent just kills our 2-drop. Play that. We'll not be blocking. Probably wouldn't have blocked with the 5-round, but you just never know. That's cool. So what we're probably going to end up doing, I wouldn't mind playing the Sky Marcher. We'll play Sea Red on this Sky Terror. And we might as well just get the Raptor Companion down. Just swing in for 4. Really start racing. If they come in with the 5-round, we might just block. Oh no, he's going to keep it back to kill our thing. Interesting. Bounce the Siren Lookout, yeah, so they can explore again, that's good. Okay, we can really go to town and make this a 5 with lifelink. It's very all in. Kind of get blown out by a bombard there, which doesn't feel very good. I am just as tempted to play Pierce Interdiction on the Storm Sculptor and swing in. Let's force the issue with this 5-round. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so actually maybe the Pierce Interdiction is not what we want to do. And let's just go with the Sky Marcher. So they leave blockers back for our Sky Marcher. And we can just play Pierce Interdiction and gain life that way. Almost encouraging the attack from the Storm Sculptor and then gaining an annoying amount of life. That makes their attacking almost irrelevant. Stand to gain quite a significant amount of tempo as a result of this life gain, which is good. So make it very difficult for them. May have been a mistake not to just get the Storm Sculptor interdicted, if that's even a word, which I'm sure it's not. Yeah, so I imagine the second flyer comes down to block, although the Kite Sail doesn't block flyers. Yep. So he drew a mountain. Could play another Sky Marcher, could play Pierce Interdiction. This feels super greedy, but I just kind of... They haven't killed the Sky Terror yet, so I just feel like they can't. This might be incorrect to attack with the Sky March Bloodletter as well. I kind of just want to put them to a low life total. Because now if they tap out, then they're probably just dead to the flyer. Wow. That was super greedy. Super greedy. But it worked. I mean, Rivals of Ixalan, where enchantments just make your creatures really unfair. I guess it's fun when you're the one doing it, then it's fine. Raptor Companion feels not very good if they've got those little 1/1 pingers. They had another couple of 1-drops, so I feel like they're going to have a few things to deal with the Raptor Companion. So I think we want to put in a Looming Outer Saw. That felt quite. This could be quite good against a lot of their creatures. Hedging a little bit there. Yes, I think we'll take out the Paladin of the Bloodstained for the Looming Outer Saw. So I think that's just a little bit more defensive and hard for them to remove potentially, because 7 toughness if they're playing blue-red, they're not going to be able to destroy that very efficiently. They're going to need to do that with like, quite significant combat tricks. So like a 4 damage spell or the Cannon Fire Blast, whatever it's called, Fire Cannon Blast plus combat damage. So that could be a bit of a brick wall, and then we'll take out a Raptor's Companion for a Mutiny and run with that. Okay, this hand is a little bit shaky, but we've got a 2-drop into potentially a 3-drop, assuming we draw any land. So this feels good enough for me. Ideally we draw a Mountain. Oh, he's off to the races again. Yeah, glad I took out a second Raptor Companion, because it's just not going to line up very well against this pinger. Certainly feels like Raptor Companion got a little bit worse with this set. It makes you wonder why they reprinted it. We'll pop him down. So it's nice that we're going to be able to be playing the Exultant Sky Marcher. But a Mountain would certainly be nice. Fair enough, just kill it now. If he wants it dead, there's certainly no point in attacking, because I just won't block. And this stops me doing something in response, like Moment of Triumph. Okay, so they've got Frenzied Raptor, which they've put at the bottom. Interesting. Perhaps they want land. So Sky Marcher is going to be a welcome addition. Bombard. No, Cutlass. Oh, not the Cutlass. Don't like Cutlass. Don't really get the attack with the Siren Lookout, but we'll block. I suppose there's some weird chance I don't block. We want to kill probably the thing with the Cutlass on. We're going to be casting not Pterodon Knight, I think. We're Squire's Devotion onto the Sky Marcher and then swinging for 3. And then we want to mutiny something. Equip is 2. So maybe we do kill the guy with the sword, because that way they're going to have to, if they're bottlenecked on mana, that could be quite awkward for them. We're definitely doing this. I think a 4/5 flyer is going to be very hard for us to deal with, as opposed to the 4/2. I think that's correct. It would have been nice to kill the other creature, so that then they had a choice, especially if they're not drawing land. Yeah, so now if they had a situation where they're like, I can equip or play a thing, then that could be quite difficult for them. However, I just think if they equip and they then have a 4/5 flying blocker, then that's just bad. So I'm hoping that was the correct thing to do. I feel like that was the better thing to do. Okay, Kenjali's Call is actually quite good, because we can then play Pterodon Knight afterwards. No reason we don't just swing in with everything here. Just gain 4 life. So play Kinjali's Caller. Oh, what am I talking about? Play Pterodon Knight. Oh, what an idiot. What an absolute idiot. I should have just played the Pterodon Knight there. It's because it's got the dinosaur in the picture and it works with dinosaurs. I was thinking I could then play Pterodon Knight cheaper because of the dinosaur spells thing. But that's not how that works. Only makes dinosaurs cheaper. Ooh, so we're going to take 8 here. Giving us a run for our money. So we go to 7. This is awkward. So 13, so we're going to do another 4, gain 4. We could use this as a pump spell. Gain 4, 5, 6, do 6 damage. Put them to 7 and then we gain 6 life. And then play the Knight and then they're dead on board. So I feel like the 3/3 is going to be just as good as the 4/4. Wow. I mean, at this point, they can't really attack. When they do 8 to us, we go down to 7. And then we just kill them on the swing back. So they've got to keep creatures back. So they could have easily just blocked. And they've got a 4/2 first striking blocker. Actually, if they just sit there and block, then us having used the Moment of Triumph then put us in a position where actually we don't really have any good attacks. So they definitely could have kept the game going there. I think that's very much a premature concession there. I mean, perhaps in their hand they have, as they were stumbling on mana, they've got a load of cards that they can't cast or are irrelevant. But yeah, I think actually in hindsight, the Moment of Triumph was a bit premature to use. And probably should have just played the Glorifier of Dusk, been more mana efficient, and then threaten the flying blocker if they do come in for a bit of damage. It's hard to say what happened. I mean, there's so many cards that they could have had, but yeah, definitely an early concession from our opponent there, and perhaps a bit overzealous, both with the enchantment usage and the Moment of Triumph from our point of view in that game. It was very gung ho, and I'm not sure I would necessarily make the same decision in the future, but it works out for us, and we're going into round 3 2-0. Welcome to round 3, and this hand seems okay. It's not that inspiring with only 1 creature, so we can play that amulet and get double red, which is nice to be able to get. Sorry, double white to be able to get double white, because we know we've got some double white cards. And the sun-coloured raptor. I mean, I don't think we want to mulligan this hand. It's just not particularly strong, but I don't think that's a reason to mulligan it. We're going second, which isn't great either, but using our mana on turn 1 to be able to get the amulet down is nice. Pterodon Knight is good. Okay, this is interesting. We could crack the amulet now and then set up double white to play Sky Marcher on 3, or play Sun-Collared Raptor into to now, and then do that amulet next turn. See, the Raptor isn't that great, so I'm actually tempted to do this. I feel like playing the Sky March is going to be so much more useful than playing the 1-2 now. So we can play the 2-3, then we can play the Knight, and then after that we still play the Raptor. If we haven't got another dinosaur to play, to give the Pterodon Knight flying anyway. Sailor Means. Could add up to quite a significant loss of life. That's an annoying little card. Perhaps they really want to draw a land. Okay, getting a bit of a beating really. Could play our Squire's Devotion on our Exultant Sky March to start attacking with lifelink. Squire's Devotion. So if we play Squire's Devotion, we can swing in and then we can pump the token on defense and get rid of that guy. That might be quite good actually. Because I feel like they'll have some sort of removal for the Sky Marcher. And they're going to be doing a good job of damaging our life total, so this life swing is going to be quite nice as well. I really want to stop the forerunner of the whatchamacallit. Tap. I'm quite happy to do this because if they kill the token, then we just trade a Moment of Triumph for a removal spell, which they haven't done, so that's really good. So we traded a Moment of Triumph for two cards there. I know it replaced itself anyway. That Curious Obsession, but it's not a totally bad trade for them. Us having our guy bounced is annoying. But not an awful lot we can do about that. Just want to make the most use of our mana here. May have to trade off. We'll take 5. I could just trade with the sailor here. No, I don't think we need to do that just yet. It's tempting just to kill their creature, but I don't really think it's worth losing a Sky Marcher. Interesting they chose to do it in that order, because they may not have actually been able to. Perhaps they had a land in hand anyway, but if they'd done it the other way, they definitely would have been able to play both, whereas they needed to have drawn a land there to play both. If we attack with the Raptor, then we can still. Then we can kill one of their creatures and then still play a creature. But thinking about it, I don't actually think I want to waste 3 mana on not adding to the board, so So I don't think we're going to swing in with the Raptor actually. Play this. If we play the, it's tempting to play the Sky Marcher because then we'll have the ability to double spell more comfortably, because this double white is making it difficult to double spell. So we could do Raptor Companion and Sky Terror. And we're definitely only casting one of those things next turn. Whereas if we draw land next turn, after playing a Sky Marcher, then we can play Knight and one of the 2-drops. So I'm going to play another Sky Marcher, because I just don't want to take too much damage. It's a decent blocker against the 2-3. So only the 3-2 is going to be attacking us unchallenged, assuming they don't have removal. And just getting that double white card on the table is good in terms of our mana. Yeah. It's making it difficult to cast everything, that double white. So we'll just take this. So they have one card left in hand, which they're playing now. Okay, that guy's pretty good. To draw a card, yeah. Don't want them to draw cards. I'm going to go on defense, so we're just playing the Raptor Companion, as that's the thing I'll be happiest to trade with Deadeye Righauler, if they come in with that. There's at least some Coloured Raptor now threatens to kill the Deadeye Tormentor. Okay, that was a good card for our opponent. Chupacabra is hard to deal with. Yeah, no, we'll just play the most things that we can. Could get him with a flyer, but I want to be able to block the aerialist. Oh wow, they're just drawing awesome card after awesome card. We'll block like this because it sucks giving them cards, but I don't want to chump just yet with any of these two. And if we throw the Kinjales in and we draw the 6-mana dinosaur, that could be awkward. No, Mutiny. Okay, that's great. Use it to kill. I think the killing the aerialist is probably going to be the best thing to kill. You have to start double blocking now. Let's hope that this doesn't go bad. I mean, essentially, I mean, they drew 2 cards off that, so we've lost 2 cards and they've gained 2 off of that one thing, which is insane. Oh my gosh. This has just been a beating, this game. It's all kinds of nastiness. If we play the Sky March, I'll have a 3/3. Then we just need to kill something. So if we Divine Verdict that, this blocks that, we're going to take exactly 5, but we'll have a chump blocker. Whereas if we play the creature, that can block a Deadeye, this can block dinosaur thing, this can chump that. We'll take that. Either scenario is really bad. Just play that and hope that they just don't have more horrible cards. What is this? That deck's insane. Are we just dead? 4, 4, we block that. And then block that, the other biggest. That's hilarious. It's good to know they've got Immortal Sun. Jesus. I think we're going to be boarding in a Shatter. They've got a Pirate's Cutlass and an Immortal Sun, both of which are really hard to deal with. Raptor's Companion doesn't sit very well versus Sailor Means, so I'm happy to take that out. Although we're going first, so having the creature might be quite nice. Actually, I think I'm going to take a Sea Red out. There's a lot of bounce stuff. And I don't really want to lose out. Squire's Devotion is not quite so bad because you get a 1/1 off of it. So take out Sea Red for a Shatter. And then we could put in the other Mutiny. I had a lot of good cards. I think on the play I wouldn't mind the extra creature just to be aggressive. And then boarding the removal on the... Yeah, no, I think this is probably okay. Shatter's just a bit of insurance. If it was just the Cutlass that they had, then I wouldn't be boarding in the Shatter, but the Immortal Sun is just... that's too good to ignore. Sadly, this is a mulligan. I don't want to mulligan again, so I'm probably just going to keep this. This hand's pretty terrible, but it's very likely we go to 5 and we just have a 1-land hand, or 2 mountains or 2 plains and an awkward combination of cards that we can't cast. So because we have on top of our library, very good, because we have both colours, we'll stick with it. Turn to Raptor Companion could be very good here. There are a lot of cards they could play like that do not make it very good. So, do we want to swing? Yeah, because we're going to be doing more damage. If they want to block with their 2/2, that's fine. But yeah, they know we've got better dinosaurs. It's a bit greedy, perhaps, knowing we've got this. We can then start getting in there with flying. But, I don't know. So they're almost certainly not going to block with that. So let's get the Paladin down, because if we play the dinosaur, they'll keep the fleet aerialist back to block, and then we can't swing in and make it flying. So play the Paladin because I don't really care if they block this as much. Oh. The card is so good. I mean, the +1/+1 and the drawing a card for 1 mana is just insane. I think we're just going to get overwhelmed unless we come up with a way to deal with that. Okay, that's a way. It's a very good way, in fact. So do we swing with both our creatures? It's likely they both... I don't know, I feel like throwing away our creatures is probably not the best thing to be doing. We've got stuff that cares about dinosaurs. So not just throwing the raptor away could be quite useful. Annoying. Probably the token. Yeah. Good way of getting rid of that. Actually tempted to come in with a dinosaur now. Over 2/2 flyer is not a very good blocker. So we're playing this because it at least can hold back the dinosaur hunter. So if they want to swing in for 6, that's fine. We'll probably just trade the paladin off. Oh my god, this card is so bad. So bad. Well, the card is so good. It's just tragically bad when this happens. Yeah, I don't think we can afford to take quite so much damage. We're swinging for 3, they'll go to 8, and then they'll attack us, and then we'll Divine Verdict something, which will be putting us to 6. Might just block with a Chupacabra. Yeah, fair enough. He's got less attackers now. I'm tempted to play this. May just trade off with his 2/2. Have a chump blocker. Could be a mistake to not destroy the flyer. Because if we only draw ground creatures, then we're in trouble. But that does more damage. Okay. That's annoying. Looks like it's going to be arbitrary now. Perhaps I shouldn't have been blocking as aggressively. Yeah, maybe blocking with the 2/2 was a mistake, because we had the Kinjali's Caller to then fog that, and then we'd had a dinosaur. We could have been swinging in for 6 damage here. We'd still be dead to potentially what they're attacking us back with. Don't see a way out now. Nah, it's really bad. Probably did some really poor sequencing back there, and blocked a bit too hastily, but I mean they've just continued to put pressure on every turn. I mean they have 4 creatures to our 1 at the moment, and we've got only 1 card left in hand as a creature. Yeah, not like we've drawn too badly, but yeah, we've just been completely overwhelmed. A little bit of card advantage with the Curious Obsession. Good tempo, and the Chupacabra is so good. So yeah, I just haven't really been able to get anything to stick, sadly. So yeah, not really been that great. Quite pleased with the deck. Was pretty good. Went 2-1 with it, and that last round was just horrible. I mean, they had the Cutlass, Immortal Sun, Sailor of Means, Chupacabra, the enchantments to get some really good advantage, good flyers. I mean, both games they were just relentless. Probably made a couple of questionable blocks there, but even so, we just got a bit of a kick in there one way or the other. So it was a really nasty final round opponent. But as I said, I'm pretty pleased with our deck. Did quite well. If you enjoyed that, then do consider subscribing, because I'll be doing some more drafting in due course. Let me know what you think of the deck in the comment section below, and let me know if you would have put the Sphinx in your deck as well, as I'm still kind of thinking about that. Maybe it would have been funny to include that in the deck, but probably was too much for the mana. But it'd be interesting to hear if you would have gone full greed. In the meantime, hit that like button if you want to show your support for the video, and check out my Facebook page, Vincent Games, if you want to leave a comment and let me know the sort of videos you might like to see on the channel as well. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.